Well, folks, it's official. I have a hater. Some guy watched my last video, and he said, "Well, I give you 3 Kamalas and 1 AOC because your post is stupid." Well, fella, at least you listened, and you can hate on me all you want, but if maybe at least I say something or do something that makes you at least listen a little bit and maybe think a little, then I've done my job. And oh, by the way, the fact that you're hating on me, well, that just tells me I'm doing something right. So, keep it up. I welcome it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of our 32nd president, who's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Now, understand that Mr. Roosevelt grew up basically with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was raised in a wealthy, upper-class environment, didn't really want for anything in his life, and he became a fairly good president. Now, I will say that with the acknowledgement that, yes, there was a big black mark on his presidency, and that was his treatment of American citizens of Japanese descent after the attack on Pearl Harbor. What he did was inexcusable at that time, and like I say, that is a black mark on an otherwise pretty good presidency that will never be erased. But that being said, I'm reminded of a speech that he was giving in Madison Square Garden in October of 1936, and he spoke a lot about the class division that existed in this country, and for a need to help working people, for things like unemployment insurance and a Social Security program. And this really pissed off the people who were part of his class. They really went after him. They referred to him as a traitor to his class. They did not like what he had to say at all. And this is his response that he gave in that speech. He said, "Never before in all of our history have these forces been so united against one candidate as they stand today. They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred." So y'all can take that for whatever you think it's worth. Like I say, if you're getting some haters, you're doing something right. I once had a boss who, now this was when I was in my 20s, and occasionally I would screw up. No surprise there. But when I did, rather than really reaming me the riot act or whatever, he would look at me and he would say, "Well, did you learn anything?" Oh, I'd almost rather been chewed out. But I think about that because, again, I'm seeing a lot of more postings on YouTube of people who are regretting their vote for Donald Trump because of the way that they are being hurt. And one gentleman in particular, who is a farmer, he was really railing against the fact that the USDA or U.S. Department of Agriculture payments to him were being frozen. And apparently this guy had spent a considerable amount of money, consisting of over $100,000 for materials, to lay in a new water system. I think I don't know whether it was for irrigation or what, but he was, he had things all ready to go to make the improvements on his farm that he had contracted with the government to do. And in exchange for that, they were going to reimburse him for his costs. Well, unfortunately, I think his whole takeaway on this, though, was that it was the government that broke the contract, and therefore don't ever get into any kind of a contract with any kind of a government program because you're going to get screwed. Well, my friend, if you're listening, the government didn't screw you. One guy, or two guys actually, are the ones that did this to you. Donald Trump and Elon Musk. The government had a contract with you, and the government was honoring that contract. But Donald Trump decided, no, we can't have that. And Elon Musk said, no, we can't have that either. And therefore, they froze those payments. So the point I want to make is, again, and I said this in the last little blurb, you're the one that voted for him. You supported him. You put him in office. And in return, he screwed you right up the exhaust pipe. So, in a way, you have become the architect of your own demise. So my question is to you, did you learn anything? And what are you going to do about it in the future? So that's all I have for now. I want you to think about that, folks. This is another session of Musings from the Shop. I hope everybody has a good day and keep it between the ditches.